Okay, this is my culture informative speech, and my audience member is my boyfriend right here. Thank you for watching. All right, I'm gonna set you up and we can start. All right, so my culture of informative speech will be about jazz history, and I'll begin now. Dancing has always been a part of my life. I have been dancing since I've been 5 years old. I have instantly clicked with all people that have danced, and dancing was a way of me branching out, being able to talk to other people, express how I felt even when words couldn't express them, especially as a young child. Dancing was something of always an activity, and then it turned into a lifestyle for me, and I ended up loving it every second of it because I was able to meet new people, and the way that I met people were they were so excited about it, and they were able to share the same love for me for it. And jazz as a style has always been my personal favorite. So jazz is more than a dance of a style. It is a way of movement to express someone's feelings. Today, to get a better understanding of jazz, I will explain where it has originated, how it has changed throughout the years, and demonstrate / show some of the moves, more like just have some videos and some pictures of them at the end. All right, to begin, the first thing that you would need to know about anything for jazz is that it originated in Africa from African American slaves. Mainly started around the 1600s, or at least that's where the research came from. Then when you look into it, when you look into how the history of jazz even started, or even how even dancing started, we're going to look at how, from my history 102 class and 101, you would learn about how slaves, when they were put together into different groups of cropping and sharecropping, they would be separated from their families, and they wouldn't be able to really talk to each other, but they'd be able to communicate with each other by dancing and having music and songs after their work was over. And so basically, when they would have their day over, they'd have their complete work done, they would have their instruments, and they would have their time together, and they'd have the time to be able to dance and be able to express how they felt, but carefully, since the slave owners wouldn't want to, they'd hurt them if they obviously talked wrong about them. But their dancing was mainly earthy, low to the bent knees, a lot of pulsating body movements, and emphasizing by your isolations and your hand clapping. This was mostly knowledge that I had taken from my History 102 class and 101, so that was an easier way to research it. But now that you've learned where jazz has come from, let's talk about how it has changed. All right, so jazz has indeed changed since the 1600s for sure. It began with African dance, as I would continue to say from before. So basically, now through the 19th century, through the 21st century, it has evolved completely. So it's to say in the 1920s, 30s, which I will show hopefully some videos and pictures in the video, as I would say later. They have transformed from earthy to just isolating and all that, to more of upbeat isolations and more of tapping, I would assume, from research that I had. And then to later in the years, ballet was incorporated into jazz dance, and ballet is another specific type of style. It's not my favorite ever, I never really liked it when I was growing up, but ballet is pretty much the opposite of jazz in my opinion. It is more stiff, more perfected, more technical, it's just a very different dance than I would say than jazz, because jazz to me is more upbeat, more fun, more jazz hands, more moving around, moving all your body, and that's just how I would assume it would be. But later, even more later, nowadays, when I look at dance competitions and dance videos, jazz is a mix of all types of styles, and it's become a mix of ballet, a mix of modern dance, and a little bit of mix of inspiration. Even my dancers that I know still use these will still use these techniques, and before I quit dance, I knew that I did these myself, so obviously I would know. Now that you know all of this knowledge from the past, I thought that you would like to know some of the moves that were particularly my favorite, which I will say like at least 4. So I will be showing videos as I am talking. Hopefully that'll show. I'm gonna step to the side. I'm hoping that it's gonna pop over here, that these are gonna be pirouettes, which is basically a turn. You're going to be turning on one leg. Since you cannot see my leg, you'll be turning on one leg. The left or the right would be fine, and you turn the outside or the inside, doesn't matter, but those are always my favorite. Then stags are a leap in the air with one leg straight and the other leg bent, and you are as high as possible in the air, where you can have a beautiful extension, which are my favorite. And then knee drops were always a harsh thing on your body, but if you did it right, you'd be fine. Again, I'll be showing all these here, and a knee drop would be basically dropping to your knees. You could either drop to one knee or 2 knees, whatever you feel. And then lastly, a flying saucer, which is just a nice thing I'll show right here, and I used to love that dance. In conclusion, dancing has been a part of my life, and I'm happy to have been able to share it with you all, and the love and the history of it. And now that you have learned history of jazz, now you know that this style is more than a style of dance. It is a way of movement, and is a way it expresses one's feelings coming from way back when. Thank you.